Hey guys, today I'm going to be going through my draft for Season 2 of the CDL. Our team is the Alaskan Knights, and for our first pick, I decided to go with Walking Wake. So, it's a Dragon Water type, it's just incredibly strong, good speed tier with amazing moveset consisting of moves such as Draco Meteor, Scald, Hydro Pump. Draco Meteor can just nuke things, Flamethrower for coverage, Flip Turn for the momentum, Knockoff and Dragon Tail are just useful in general, Hydro Pump and Hydro Stamp just for the offense. For my first pick, unfortunately I did have the 13th out of 16 picks in the first round, so lots of stuff was gone. I was really hoping to get something like Raging Bolt or Iron Boulder, some of the new Pokemon I wanted to play with. Unfortunately, all of them except for Hydrapple were gone by the time it got to me, which was a shame. I wanted to go with something powerful and new that I hadn't used yet in a draft league, but at least somewhat familiar, and I felt like Walking Wake was the best for that. I was also considering going Tyranitar, but I ended up going with Walking Wake. So for the next pick, I decided, Walking Wake is an amazing offensive mon, let's pair it with another great offensive physical Pokemon. And I went with Mammoslime. So between ground and ice stabs, it hits 9 types super effectively. And with 130 base attack, this thing is so hard to switch into. There's also no single type in the game that resists both ice and ground, so it's amazing. With moves such as Earthquake, Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Stone Edge for offensive coverage, plus Trailblaze to raise its speed, and it obviously acts as a Stealth Rocker. I'm not sure I'm going to use it that often as a Stealth Rocker. I feel like it's definitely going to be more of an offensive Pokemon, but it's amazing nonetheless. Then, to pair nicely with Walking Wake, I of course then had to pick Torkoal. With Drought, he sets up Harsh Sunlight, which is obviously great for both it and Walking Wake. With base 140 defenses and still solid special defenses, it can live for a long time. Its main role is going to be to set up Sunlight, but it also gets some good coverage with moves like Earth Power, Earthquake, Eruption, Flamethrower, Overheat, and Solar Beam. It also gets Stealth Rock and acts as my first Rapid Spinner, so it can remove hazards for me. Then also it can disrupt the opponent team with moves like Will-O-Wisp and Yawn. It's pretty great for the team, but as I said, its main purpose of being there is going to be to set up Sun. So then I went with Venusaur to better benefit from the Sun. This Pokemon gets Chlorophyll, which doubles its speed in the Sun. So for this pick I wanted a Pokemon that benefited from the Sun that my team was being built around, and also I kind of wanted a Pokemon to finish off the Grass, Water, Fire core, which obviously Venusaur fills. With base 100 special attack, base 100 special defense, this thing can be really bulky and has solid attack power, but is also, with the base 80 speed, can be really fast in Sunlight. It's super hard to outspeed. Most Scarfers can't even outspeed it while Chlorophyll is active. And with moves like Earth Power, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam, and Weather Ball, it can be very hard to switch into. Now, we can also go a defensive set with moves like Leech Seed, Synthesis, Toxic, and Sleep Powder can disrupt the opponent, and then Growth in the Sunlight. I only found this out a few weeks ago. Growth in the Sunlight actually makes it, instead of 1 stage of attack and special attack, it goes to 2. So that can be very useful. And for the next Pokemon we decided to go with Magnemite. I was really looking to try and get a Steel type, especially. That was the big concern I needed. A lot of Steel types were going really early. I needed to make sure I locked in a solid Steel type. And I also saw there were 2 people drafting Rain teams. Obviously, Rain, Sunlight, it's going to be a weather war. But I wanted a Pokemon that can really kind of deal with a lot of those water types that we'll be seeing against those teams. So it gets electric moves like Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and Discharge. Then we can also run, obviously, Flash Cannon for Steel Stab, but there's plenty of other stuff like Thunder Wave, Discharge, Explosion, Body Press, Iron Defense, Screams. It can run Tri Attack. It can run all those sorts of stuff. This is a pretty great mon. it can just sit on things. It can be defensive, it can be offensive, run specs, scarfs, leftovers, really everything. This one is really, really good. And also with Magnet Pull, I can really remove those steel types from the teams. That help, and that'll help my stuff like Venusaur break through. Obviously Earth Power beats steel types as well, but if I can really weaken them, it can be really useful. And then for the next pick we decided to go with Gardevoir. At this point in the draft was when the first Pokemon got sniped that I wanted. I was really hoping for Rabombi for this next pick. However, it did get stolen, so I had to adjust my draft plans in order to spend a bit more, because Gardevoir was more expensive than Rabombi. But I think it's worth it. With base 125 special attack, this thing can hit like a truck, and really solid special defense. It's a bit frail on the physical side, and it's a little bit slow with only base 80 speed, but base 80 is brilliant for Scarf as well, so we can definitely fix those sorts of things. But it has an amazing moveset with stuff like Aura Sphere, Draining Kiss, Energy Ball, Moonblast, Mystical Fire, Psychic and Psyshock, and then we also get a lot of disruptive moves such as Encore and Trick. But then also, if I'm running the Scarf set, I can run Healing Wish as the last move to really, like, say Mammothline does a lot of work and gets to 1%, where Healing Wish right back up. It can be so useful. I think this Pokemon will actually put in a lot of work. And then for the next pick, we decided to go with Brute Bonnet. Again, it's another Pokemon that benefits from the sun, as it activates Photosynthesis. It has really quite solid bulk, a high attack stat with 127, and a good moveset with Close Combat, Crunch, Seed Bomb, Stomping Tantrum, and Sucker Punch really being all it will ever need offensively. And then for the defensive side, we can run Spore to put things to sleep, Synthesis, Taunt. This Pokemon can be very, very good, and I think it will be. And then with the next pick we went for Cinccino. So one thing I was worried about was my speed stats. At this point in the draft, my highest speed Pokemon was my Walking Wake with 109, and I was also really worried about removal. Having Torkoal as my only removal Pokemon isn't very good because it is slow and it's important for the sunlight, so having it take hits while it tries to spin just isn't great. Obviously it'll be better in certain situations, but I really wanted another removal Pokemon, a fast removal Pokemon, and Cinccino felt like the best fit. It's two great abilities in Skill Link and Technician, and then an amazing moveset with moves like U-Turn, Thunder Wave, tidy up for that removal, Triple Axle, Rock Blast, Encore, Gunk Shot, Seed Bomb, Super Fang, Ice Spinner, Knock Off, Tail Slap, Play Rough, Bullet Seed. It really gets anything it ever needs. There's no downside to Cinccino. I really do feel like that. I feel like this is such a versatile Pokemon. It's going to be an amazing in draft. I'm really looking forward to it. Then we went with Leafeon for the next pick. So this is my first Terra Captain. As you can see the types at the top, it is a grass type. However, in this league, our Terra Captains have 2 Terra types, unrestricted of what they are. So I've gone with Ground and Fire. With Chlorophyll, it's another Chlorophyll one, so its speed will be doubled just like Venusaur. It's got really solid attack, it's 110, that can be boosted with Sword Dance to make it hit like a truck. And then solid defenses with 130. It gets Knockoff, Leaf Blade, X is a Solar Blade, which is good. It's good coverage. With Sword Dance, I can do Substitute to help set up Sword Dances, and Synthesis can help to heal it with Leech Seed. The problem this Pokemon really has is lack of coverage. Doesn't get much beyond X's or a Knockoff. However, with it being my Terra Captain, I have Terra Blast, Ground or Fire, which I think can be really strong. And this Pokemon can be really hard to deal with in the sun, especially with Chlorophyll active to double its speed, a Swords Dance up, and then if it's Terra Fire, the sun boosts that as well. It can be so hard. And the next pick we went with Passimian. So this is my second Terra Captain. I really wanted another strong physical Pokemon. Passimian wasn't in the original plans. This is a Pokemon that I had to drop points because of the Gardevoir pickup. I felt like Passimian was the best choice because I didn't have a fighting type, and I felt like a fighting type is quite useful, but also it punishes sticky webs, and I noticed quite a few sticky web mons got chosen. So like Rabombi got sniped, as I said. I saw Ariados got picked, and I believe there was a couple more sticky web mons that got selected. And I wanted a Pokemon that can really punish sticky webs, and Defiant does that very well. As soon as it switches in, it'll lose its speed, but in return get a free Swords Dance, essentially. And then with Terra Electric and Terra Fairy for the coverage that it doesn't have, plus the already great moves that it has of Acrobatics, Close Combat, Drain Punch, Earthquake, Gunk Shot, Iron Head, Knockoff, Seed Bomb, U-Turn, it can really smash through teams. And for the next pick, we decided to go with Magmortar. I wasn't particularly happy with this pick, I won't lie to you. Originally, the plan was for this to be a Terra Captain Charizard. However, it did get stolen. And then the backup plan for Charizard was Typhlosion, which also got stolen. So Magmortar was really a last sort of chance pick. But I think it can definitely be useful in certain matchups. It's got 125 special attack, pretty decent bulk, pretty decent speed on it, with movesets like Fire Blast, Scorching Sand, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Hyper Voice, Solar Beam, Psychic for its special side, and then we can run stuff like Flame Charge to boost that speed to really turn it into a potential sweeper. Could be really useful. We can also run Knockoff and Will-O-Wisp just for utility, and then I also did notice it gets Belly Drum, so I feel like there might be maybe 1 or 2 matchups where we could run a physical Magmortar set and try to Belly Drum and win the game with Flame Charge plus Belly Drum. I think that could be really good, but we'll see how that goes. But yes, that is the team. I'm quite happy with the draft. I think it's really strong. I think it's one of the better drafts in the league, and I'm really looking forward to using it. So I will be posting in the coming weeks, a battle a week. Hopefully every Monday we'll try and get a game up on YouTube for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to this. So I hope to see you in those videos, and I hope the Alaskan Snipes can really pull this out. So see you in the next one.